Hello and welcome back to the Right Within podcast. I'm your host, Michaela, the Conscious Queen, and in today's episode, we're gonna be discussing scripting. I do want to say, guys, this is the last episode of season 1. A big thanks to everybody who has been listening along in my podcast. I so appreciate each and every one of you. And I cannot wait to see how we grow as a community and how my audience grows. So just big special thanks to everybody who's been tuning in and listening this whole time. You guys are awesome. All right, so I will be having season 2. I don't know when that will be, but stay tuned for season 2. Okay, guys, I have very good material for you guys, and just stay tuned. All right, so today's episode is going to be about scripting. It's one of my favorite ways to manifest because it freaking works. Okay, what is scripting anyway? So scripting is the act of writing out what you would like to have in your life in the present tense as if it has already happened. So if you want something in your life, let's say you want let's say for this example, you would like to be accepted somewhere, or a congratulations, or you've been approved, or whatever. You want to get your journal. Some people have a journal specifically for scripting. So you get a journal and you write oh, I am so grateful and thankful now that I have been approved for blah, blah, blah. Or I am so grateful and thankful now that I have been accepted, blah, blah, blah. And so that is how you get your subconscious mind to get used to the idea that it is now your reality. Whatever your desire is, whatever you're writing about, it is now your reality. Okay, so why is it important to write it? I think, some people do it in their notes app, which works, but I personally like to just use pen and paper, because it's this special connection, I guess, from your mind, from your brain to your hands, or I don't know. But I like to physically write it out, my desires, right? And so my favorite way to script, or one of the ways that I script and it's been effective for me, is basically writing a letter to the universe. There's this woman on YouTube, her name is Lucy, and she's the queen of scripting. She has videos viral about scripting on YouTube. And so I learned this from her, and she would basically start out her letter saying, thank you God, thank you universe, for just something that she already has, right? So something that she already has in her life. So she would write out she's so grateful and thankful for what she has, and then she'll start to write out gratitude and give thanks for what she wants to manifest. So I feel this is so effective because gratitude is such a high vibrational emotion, right? When we are grateful for something, we're not thinking about what we don't have. We're not thinking about what's not going right in our life. We're thinking about what we do have. We're thinking about what is going right in our life. So that's why I kind of like this method, because it allows you to get into this mindset of, okay, this is what I have. I have this. I'm so grateful that this is working out in my life, and then that kind of opens you up to start being grateful for what you would like to manifest. Okay, so the great thing about scripting is that it comes very easily. I feel if you journal, if you're somebody that journals normally, it's it comes very easily, right? It's not a regular journal entry, but it's a journal entry specifically about gratitude, specifically about wanting, seeing what you want in your reality, right? So when you know what you want, you can simply write it down as if it's already happened, right? And this method works because it's the magic of gratitude. Like I said, gratitude shows you how things can go well, right? It shows you how things can go well, right? And being grateful for your manifestation, whatever you're trying to attract into your life, when you're grateful for it, you allow pathways in your reality to bring it in. Okay, so I'll give you a couple of examples of what I manifested through scripting. My first thing that I manifested was my college acceptance. So I had been out of college for a couple of years, and I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna go back to school. And I just decided it, and I just said, I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna apply for as many colleges as I possibly can, and I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna see what happens. And I remember writing out a letter or saying like something along the lines of, oh wow, like I'm so grateful that I got into school. I'm so grateful that I got into school. Wow, that was so easy. You know? And like that's literally how you have to like look at your manifestations. Like, it's fucking easy. Like, like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy and grateful now that I got into school. And that's literally how I did it. Just by writing it out, just by like being grateful to the universe, being grateful to God, saying, wow, I'm so happy and thankful now that I'm a student, things like that. So that's one thing that I manifested through scripting. Another thing that I manifested through scripting is my self-image. So like, I used to have, I wouldn't say my confidence was low, but I used to have kind of like this wavering confidence, right? Like, I would kind of always feel like, or I would kind of always depend on other people to determine if I was good looking or if I was attractive or not. So literally what I started doing was I started scripting out for my confidence. I started saying, like, I'm so awesome. Like, like my confidence doesn't really depend on anybody else. I kind of just feel the way that I feel, and I feel so good within myself, and I'm able to, share that joy with other people. Like, there's this song that I so love. I think it's called Upside Down by Jack Johnson. It's like from Curious George, and I love this song so much. Like, there's this line in the song, and he says, I share this love I found with everyone. And that was literally how I felt when I was scripting about my self-image, about my confidence. I said, I am the love, and I'm gonna share with everybody how to love yourself, how to like start looking at yourself as if you are literal like goddess or god, or somebody who has this awesome and just this energy that's unmatched, right? Like, you just have this kind of aura about you that is so beautiful, or so like amazing, right? So I just started talking to myself like that. I started writing it out, and I'm saying, thank you, universe, so much to my confidence. I'm such a confident person. I really don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks. I really don't care. Like, I really don't care. Like, I'm so happy now that I don't seek validation from the outside. I know that I'm enough. I know that I'm enough. I know that I'm worthy. Okay, so that's how I manifested it, through writing it out. Okay, and yeah, I feel like the more you write something, the more it kind of registers in your mind. And I'm gonna give you guys a couple tips on how to make your scripting better and what helped me, right? So the first thing that what I can share with you guys is, maybe you can visualize what you would like before you write it. So this is actually very powerful. When you are scripting, or before you start scripting, you can kind of sit down, close your eyes, meditate. Sometimes I even look at like Pinterest. I mean, I'm a big fan of Pinterest. I love Pinterest. So like, look at something that you want, or visualize it in your head, and be very like intentional. Okay, when you can see it in your mind, you can have it in your life. Okay, if you can visualize it, you can have it. Okay, your imagination is so powerful, and it's capable of bringing your wishes into your reality. So don't underestimate the power of visualization. Visualize what you would like to have, see it in your mind's eye. Or if you can't like visualize, like go on Pinterest or something, and just like kind of visualize it before you start writing. That has helped me too. Okay. And also write your desires as many times as you please. Some of you have heard of like the 369 method by Nikola. I think it was Nikola Tesla who did it, but me personally, I just write like whenever the fuck I feel like it. Like I don't have like, oh, I need to write it this many times or this many times. But what I will say, repetition is important. So I would say a minimum 3 times. Just 3 times a week, or a day, or 3 times a month, whatever feels good to you. Just write it as many times as you think you need to write it. I do my affirmations or I script probably at minimum 3 times a week. Okay, so repetition, it just kind of, it reprograms your subconscious, right? The more you write it down, the more you accept it as true. The more you accept it as real. The more you write it, the more it feels real. Okay, and like I said, 3 times a week is like minimum for me. So the third way to enhance your scripting is to trust the universe. All right, you gotta trust. You gotta let it go. All right, when you are writing something down and you desperately want it, you're actually telling the universe you don't deserve it. So when you script and you visualize and you write it down as many times as you want, close the book, put it away, go about your life. Okay? And that's it. Don't sit there. Don't obsess over it. Don't say, oh, but I need it. Just write it down, close the book, go about your life. Okay? And trust in the process. Trust that God, that universe will deliver these things to you, because you know inherently deep down that you deserve it. You know inherently deep down that your manifestation is already real, right? Like if you want something, it's already yours. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. Okay, the infinite intelligence, aka God, universe, and all-knowing power knows your desires and is constantly working 24/7 to make it real. Trust this process. Okay, trust that all the good and all the abundance and all, everything that you're wishing, trust that it's happening. Trust that the universe will open up these doorways, open up these pathways for you to succeed and for you to get what you're asking for. Okay, let the universe work its magic for you, because when it happens, you're gonna be so freaking shocked. You're gonna be like, oh my God. And then you give the thanks, you give gratitude. Okay, so that was today's episode, guys. It was a bit short, but I really feel like I said everything. Yeah, so thank you guys again for tuning into my podcast. This was such a great little project for me. Like I said, I will be having season 2, so stay tuned for season 2. And take care, stay right within.